Yeah, I'm about 70 ball handle.
Let's check out the Sprite Ice Cold keys to the game. As we look at Toronto, what's the key against the Bucks?
Well, Kev, it's all about valuing the pumpkin. Take care of the ball. They've been on a big-time roll over the last 14 games, and their ability to minimize turnovers has been excellent, absolutely phenomenal. They don't make many mistakes, so if you're going to win, you can't make too many either.
And Clark, since we're talking about the keys, how about Milwaukee? What's the key for them?
It's really all about Chris Bosh and how they plan to slow him down. I'll tell you his meal ticket, too. It's crashing the boards. He leads the NBA in rebounding. So if you're defending him, you make sure you get a body on him. Don't worry about rebounding. Block him out.
Well, it makes an intriguing matchup. Thanks, Clark. And here are the Bucks now. Jose Calderon making his last shot. Here's Shorty. Crops it in on the way up.
That's too easy. The D's got to get to him about 8 feet further out.
Here's Toronto. Tough loss coming against Cleveland in their last game played.
I think they fell short on the defensive side of the ball, at that end of the floor. I think had they played a little tougher, a more cohesive game when they didn't have the orange, they would have had a bigger game than they did.
And so here is Toronto after the basket by Milwaukee. Shorty lays out the steal by the Bucks.
I think this quarter particularly, we're seeing them having trouble keeping possession of the ball. Far too many turnovers right now.
And here is Red. We saw him with 10 points last game. To the paint. Here's Shorty from inside. Finishes with the soft touch. He has 6. And Clark, when you see the kind of plays where they're unable to run their offense, as a coach, you start getting concerned.
Oh, without question. I mean, you have plays set up, you know your players can run them, and then they throw the ball away. You don't like to see that. They're not concentrating, trying to make a play, but it's about court awareness, understanding not only where your teammates are, but where's the defense. You've got to be able to understand and see both.
Shots good from Mba'amoute.
That's how you make them pay. Solid defense results in extra opportunity.
So the timeout call here for Toronto. This is the second time they've matched up against Milwaukee.
You know, Kevin, I think it sort of came down to the fact they did not have to deal with a lot of pressure from the defense they were facing. Had they been up against a good defense, it could have easily been a different story.
Petrus with it. Last chance unsuccessful for the Raptors. The Bucks on a bit of a roll here. Bogut. Chris Bosh with the rebound. The Raptors are trying to stop this run.
They really need a bucket to get their offense back on track.
To Turkoglu. Bellinelli. Let's go with the 3. That's good.
The defender was right in his grill, and he still fired it in. That's not luck. That's skills. Major.
Here is Mba'amoute. Lays it in. Sweet time to lead into the rack.
Good job of leading his man right to the rim for the bucket.
Now Calderon. Right wing. Here's Bosh. Nails the easy jumper.
Way to distribute the basketball.
Milwaukee in the lead. Shorty from close range.
Well, the defense put pressure on him, and frankly, he'll miss some of those even when he's wide open.
Here's Bellinelli. Doesn't tie it up. So it's Milwaukee. It's a 3-point game.
Monster throwdown. Wow.
Airtime.
Impeccable timing on that alley-oop. They hooked up perfectly.
Toronto trailing. Bosh with it. Bogut on him. Left wing. Here's Turkoglu. Trains it from the wing. And here is Red. No points for him. To Red. Petrus. And that one's good from Petrus.
He's not their go-to guy offensively normally, but when his number was called, he rose to the occasion.
And the Raptors call time here. Some of the best free throw shooters in the NBA. Let's highlight them. You take a look at Calderon, 4th in the league, and as consistent as they come at the free throw line.
Boy, his routine is flawless. He does the same thing every time, and the result is pretty much the same. Cash money from the stripe.
And Toronto has possession. And here is Jack. Behind the arc. This is the buzzer beater. The Bucks with the slight lead.
They've been very active with their hands going for steals. They've really been disruptive on defense. Still, they're not.
Okay, here we go. The start of the second quarter. We've got a close contest in this one. And here are the Bucks now. 3-point lead. And here's what's coming up next Monday. It'll be Yao Ming and the Houston Rockets. They'll be hosting the Atlanta Hawks. That one gets underway at 7:30 Eastern.
You know they're going to be extra hyped up for this one.
You're right. And the basket by Turkoglu. On offense here, the Bucks. When this game is done, they'll be off to take on the Raptors. That will be a getaway game for them, a one-game road trip. And Baamute can't get it to go. The Raptors with a chance to finally retake the lead. Boom! And nobody getting in the way.
Not at all. Major throwdown there. Just like they drew it up in practice, Kevin. Sweet dish inside.
And here is Red. Pulls the trigger. Off the backboard and in. Nice bucket by the 10th-year veteran out of Ohio State. Here comes Calderon, averaging 8 points a game. Bosh kisses it off the glass and in. He's got 8.
Beautiful delivery with the bounce pass. He kept it away from the defense, which set up the shot perfectly.
Here is Baamute, drains it from short range.
They've been trading buckets and trading leads. What outstanding competitors out there.
Here's Bosh, puts up the baby hook, and that is good.
I like the job they're doing. A much better job of getting him involved in the offense here in the second quarter.
Shorty to the inside. And Baamute cannot hit. Now the Raptors take it the other way. To Calderon. Gets in close. Lays it in. Sweet dime to lead into the rack.
Tour de force performance right here. They're having a great second quarter.
To the inside. Gets the bucket and the foul. It's on Hedo Turkoglu. Jennings will head to the bench. He completes the three-point play. Bosh with it. He had 35 points last game out. Bosh with it. Thomas is there. The turnaround Jade. Bosh can't get it to go. So it's Milwaukee now. To Baamute. Leads him with the pass. And that one's good from Petrus.
It just goes to show you, folks, everybody in this league is a pro. Give them a shot like that and they'll knock it down.
Toronto calls timeout. As we grind through the season, let's see how the East is shaping up. Taking a look at Toronto. They're 6th right now in the conference with lots of time to make a move. And, of course, there's the Bucks. A game and a half out.
Boy, still looking for their first win against this team. They've got to be extra motivated to try to get off the snide against these guys.
Here's what's going on tomorrow night. We'll see Kobe Bryant and the Los Angeles Lakers as they make the trip to Cleveland to play the Cavaliers. Start time set for 8 o'clock Eastern.
We'll see how it plays out.
And here are the Bucks. Last chance unsuccessful for the Raptors. Petrus. Chris Bosh with the rebound.
If you're going to leave someone open out there, he'd be the guy. He doesn't have the touch from that spot.
Here's Jack. Laid in softly off the glass. It's all evened up at 23.
That's a strong finish inside. That's where you want to work your magic, Kevin.
Stolen away by the Raptors. And here is Thomas. Here's Red. A little long, but it goes in.
You knew that one was good as soon as you released it. That's cash money.
Right wing, Bellinelli. Kept alive. Wash inside. Thomas is there. No good from Trickaloo.
You can't fault that shot since he was wide open, but he may have rushed it just a little bit. That should be absolutely illegal.
Now Calderon. 52 seconds left in the second. Here's Trickaloo. Claims the open look. He has 6.
He's been extremely active out there, and he has the stats to prove it. Terrific hustle.
Here's Thomas. The dump off to 0. In close. Oh, barely misses the shot, but he'll go to the line for 2. It's going to be on Jose Calderon.
Tough interior defense means not allowing easy baskets. Good foul.
Gets them both. And Toronto has possession. 4-point game. Next up in the docket, the Bucks following this one. They start a 3-game homestand with that game. 2-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. To Warwick. Cuts off the pass. Here comes Calderon. From the wing. Bogut grabs the rebound inside. Bell. No good.
The Bucks have been red hot offensively.
Yep, we'll see if they can hold this lead. And that concludes the first half. The score, 29-25. And now the T-Mobile halftime report. All right, let's look at the team stats. The Bucks have been going to the bench big time, and it's paying dividends.
Well, you get this kind of spark from the reserves.
Start of the third quarter here. We've got a close one for you. Glad you could join us as we get underway. And here are the Bucks now. They lead by 4. Shorty. To Warwick from short range. Shorty leads the game in assists. Here's Bellinelli, averaging 10 points per contest.
Let me
Here's Calderon. Scooped up. Here's Nesterovic. Book it off the offensive rebound. Nice shot by the 12th-year veteran out of Slovenia. Shorty down low. Warwick, defended by Turkoglu. Hits the jump hook. Here's Bellinelli. It's tipped.
Shoot it!
6 seconds to shoot. Calderon. A missed 3. Milwaukee in the lead. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Raptors. Well, every team needs rebounders. Check out the league's top rebounders. Well, you look at Bosh, no doubt one of the most efficient rebounders in the game.
In a phrase, he is a glass eater supreme. This guy gobbles up rebounds. He gets them out of his zip code. In other words, he gets them out of his area. He's strong, he's athletic, and he's hungry for every rebound that he can get.
On defense, Toronto. They trail by 6. To Red.
Shoot threes. That's all you.
Shorty backs him down. Shoots from the post. Can't get it to go. And Toronto the other way. It's 1-on-1. To Bosch. On the paint. Gets the lay-in. He's got 12. It's a neck-and-neck game here in Milwaukee. The Bucks with the last touch. And mark your calendars for this Friday. It'll be the Charlotte Bobcats playing on the road as they find themselves at Phillips Arena playing the Hawks. That one gets underway at 7:30 Eastern.
You can count on it that both teams want to win.
Yep. Bucks on D. 4-point game. Bosch backs in. Here's Wright. Cranes the open jumper. So it's Milwaukee now. The lead is 2. Shorty. Here's Bogut. Baseline. Here's Ward. Count the baseline J. 6 points for him. Toronto trailing. Toronto calls timeout.
All right, you gotta.
The Bucks going with the new group. Bosch with it. He's got 12. And so here is Toronto, trailing by 2. Red. Great play to stay with it.
Kevin, that's why you never quit on the boards. Second chance points.
The Raptors need every bucket to have a chance. Less than 1 minute left. Here's Nesterovic. Shot's good.
Big-time basket in the clutch, Kevin.
Big possession. The crowd on the edge of their seats. The Bucks will look to run down the clock. Shorty. And it's off. Questionable decision-making there. Dumps it off. The steal.
You have to play smart with the ball in your hand.
The Raptors are intentionally fouled. They're not yet in the penalties, so they'll need to commit a second foul to send them to the line.
They just saw him right here.
And turns it over. Milwaukee is just getting everything they want inside.
Points in the paint have been the story so far, and I don't think it's going to change unless this team starts defending with physicality, bodying up without fouling.
They're behind by 2. 5 seconds left to the 4th. Clark, what are your thoughts?
They simply need a basket here, Kevin. With this much time left, I'd attack the basket and try to get something in the paint.
Here's Bosch. Ties the game up.
That's a little bit of the European style of play there. When your bigs can hit the mid-range jumper, it can really open things up for everybody else.
Timeout called, the Bucks. Clark, what's your take?
Red has been sizzling. You'd like to see him get the ball out of this timeout.
Time expires, and we're going to overtime.
Because of them, y'all. Gotta be team.
Watch outside. Watch outside.
Calderon. Kept alive. Here's Turkoglu. That's good. And here are the Bucks now. Bellinelli is covering. Bogut. Count it! And here is Jack. He has 5. Here's Jack. That's good. So it's Milwaukee now. A 2-point game. To the stripe. To Bogut from close range. That's good.
You can't allow him to establish deep position like that. Once he gets it in that close, he's almost unstoppable.
And here is Jack. He has 7. 13 feet out. Bogut holds it in, and that's his 9th rebound thus far. Bogut lays it in off the glass.
Great pick there. The defender was stopped in his track, and it freed up the easy basket. And there's another giveaway for him now, and you know he didn't have a single turnover in the first half.
The Raptors need to work fast. Calderon. Here's Turkoglu. Money!
As if there was any question, Kev. He's just not fazed by the pressure. He stays focused and always makes big plays.
It's stolen by the Raptors. Stripped away by Red. Here's Milwaukee now. Here's Bogut working on Bosch. Puts up the baby hook.
You nigga don't let me set up the play.
Sinks the first one, and that gives them the lead. Off on the second.
You hate to miss free throws when the margin's this tight, but at least now they have the lead.
He'd better get going. Here's Jack. No luck on the three-point attempt. And here are the Bucks now. They lead by 1. Shorty kisses it off the glass and in.
They got a foul to give here if they need it.
Calderon. He has 6. Easy shot. Rips the cord.
Kicked it to the right guy at the right time. That's a good pass.
And here is Red. The Raptors commit the intentional foul, and they'll try to extend the game.
That's the right move. Stop the clock and hope they make a mistake you can take advantage of.
Clutch time. Clutch time.
Good on the first, and that'll put him up by 2. Doesn't get the second. There comes Calderon. To Jack. Jacks up the triple. And Mcloven gets the board inside. The Raptors will foul to stop the clock.
Yeah, it's really their only option at this point. You can't allow the offense to just run out the clock on it.
Go Luke. Go Luke.
Sinks the first one, and that makes it a 3-point lead.
It's a W.
The Bucks win the hard-fought game as they outlast the Raptors, 66-61. For his steady play, Shorty is the Jordan Brand player of the game.
Yeah, he did an amazing job of seeing the play ahead of time and setting up his...
Well, that's it for us. On behalf of Clark Kellogg, Cheryl Miller, and me, Kevin Harlan, thanks for tuning in to NBA Basketball on 2K Sports.
In a nutshell, I will call your performance dominating. Of the shots you took, I would say the vast majority of them were good shots. I've always stressed the importance of good shot selection. It's nice to see that you don't give away possessions with bad shots. Moving on, you were solid on the boards out there. I really have a lot of respect for players who get out there and give 100% effort on rebounding. Your teammates are loving you after that game. Great work.
More information. What do you think? That was the bum, but oh my God. How did we trade this team again? What we win?
Now let's check out the Sprite ice-cold keys to the game. All right, so Clark, taking a look at the Bucks, what's going to be the key for them?
They cannot forget about Jose Calderon. He's been playing well over the last 3 ball games. His assists are up, and he's definitely set the tone for the rest of the team with his unselfishness.
As we look at Toronto, what's the key against the Bucks?
Kev, the challenge will be protecting the rock. They've been cooking over the last 3 games, and all that winning has been accompanied by an increase in steals. They've been lurking in the passing lanes, getting their hands in there, and it's really been working for them. So you got to be ready. You know they're bringing that defensive pressure, so take care of the ball and be strong with it.
Here's Shorty. It's hauled in by Jose Calderon. Bucks on D. Last time they met was in Milwaukee.
Probably the major reason for the win last time out against this team, starters getting in early foul trouble. That's a killer. It affects your rotation and your substitution.
The top guys providing moral support on the sidelines, maybe, but that's not what they're there for.
No, they're not there to be assistant coaches. They're there to be out there producing, putting up numbers. A few quick fouls on the key players, all it takes to drastically change the complexion of a game.
Now Turkoglu following the bucket by the Bucks. To Bellinelli. Jacks up the triple, and that one's good.
Well, the D was in the area. But when you're guarding a sharp shooter like that, you need to be airtight on him before he catches the ball.
Toronto on D. 6-point game. Shorty tries to drop it in, but it won't go.
Looked like he had the angle. That's a bad miss that close to the goal.
Here's Nesterovic. Nice feed by Calderon.
Nice feed inside. Sets his teammate up for the easy deuce.
And Baamute can't get it to go.
Tough break there, Kev. He found an opening on the floor and got a nice clear look. Just didn't convert.
And here are the Bucks trailing by 10. First game coming on the heels of their win against Toronto.
This was a great game all the way down to the end. They held in there to force the overtime. And I think came out really prepared to do battle post-regulation time.
Wash with it following the miss by Turkoglu from deep. Shorty snatches it inside.
There wasn't enough defensive pressure to affect him that close to the rim. I think he just flat out missed it.
Here's Shorty. Buries the short-range jumper.
Way to work it inside to get the high percentage look. Nice job there.
Head with the rebound.
Kevin, that's the kind of shot you want. You can't ask for better execution on offense. Sometimes they just don't fall.
Thomas, that's good.
Excellent anticipation there, Kev. He placed that pass perfectly.
Raptors with the lead. Here's Turkoglu. Puts it in on the layup.
They're really doing a nice job, a really good job of getting everything they want in this quarter. Just good, solid basketball.
And here are the Bucks now. Bosch grabs the miss. 1:23 left in the first. Nesterovic. Here's Turkoglu. Can't hit from beyond the arc. And the story we've seen here from the field, impressive shooting, getting off to a tremendous start.
Boy, Kevin, this is the kind of offensive rhythm that can set you on a nice course. I mean, they definitely want to keep that momentum going.
6 seconds to shoot. Shorty, Bellinelli is covering. It's stolen by Calderon.
The lob was a little misjudged, and he couldn't get control of it. Tough sequence there.
A shot by Bellinelli. No good. The Bucks trail. Red trains it from just inside the three-point line. Here comes Calderon. He has 5. So timeout called here, the first for Toronto. This game coming after a loss against the Bucks.
I thought they really looked good, Kevin, before heading into overtime. Things just fell apart, though, for them after that. They seemed to lose focus.
There's Bellinelli, averaging 10 points per contest. Bosch backs him down. 13 feet out. That's good.
You've got to close out on that mid-range jump shot. He's extremely deadly from there.
Here's Bogut. He's up against Bosch. Here's Shorty. Dumps it off. Here's Petrus. Trains it from just inside the three-point line. Here comes Calderon. The Raptors have taken the early lead.
Kevin, their offense has been flowing right from the get-go. It's been fun to watch.
And we end an exciting first quarter. The score: welcome to the start of the second quarter, and so far it's been a great game, closely contested by both teams. And here are the Bucks now. 6-point game. Now Calderon, averaging 8 points a game. Gets in close. No good. Now the Raptors take it the other way. They've led by as much as 10. Bogut down low, working on Bosch. Shoots from the post. Shorty lays out and gets it to a teammate. The handoff to Zero. Jack gets the board inside. Here comes Calderon. He has 5. To Turkoglu. A 3. That's good. He's got 7.
Why anyone would want to leave this guy alone deep is beyond me.
Shorty and Mbamute connects. Sweet touch by the 2-year man out of UCLA. Here comes Calderon. Bosch, the screen. Here's Turkoglu, blows the layup.
You want to get your teammate open for a shot, you've got to set a better screen than that.
Here's Jennings, kept alive. Bogut down low, working on Bosch. Nice shot by Bogut.
Kevin, a guy that I thought really started to make some significant progress last season was Andrew Bogut, and then he was derailed by injury. But this guy is rebounding his position well before getting hurt, starting to score a little more consistently. And, you know, when he went down, Milwaukee really missed his presence. I mean, when you have a big guy that consistently gives you double-doubles and is somebody the other team has to game plan for a bit, you really miss that kind of attribute.
The Raptors will hold on to it. Now let's take a moment to see the teams that lead the league in field goal percentage. You take a look at the Bucks, a great team, lots of shooters.
With all of the great shooters they have, it's almost easy to think that they would shoot a high percentage. But there's some other factors at play here. They're unselfish, they set good screens, they move well without the ball, and they're disciplined in that they don't take just any shot. They want the best shot available, and that's usually what they get.
Now Turkoglu. Last time out he had 14 points. Bosch, the screen. 5 on the shot clock. Banks sinks the open shot. So it's Milwaukee trailing by 5. And here's what's coming up next Monday. It'll be the LA Clippers on the road. They'll face the Celtics out in Boston. Start time 7:30 Eastern.
They're a lot of fun to watch right now.
You're right. And Toronto has possession following the shot by Michael Redd.
What an acrobatic finish. I love the dunk, but you got to give it up for that kind of layup.
So it's Milwaukee now. 7-point differential. And after this one, they're home against Minnesota. That game is the first and last of their homestand. And here is Redd. Right on him. Bargnani grabs the board. And the Raptors with possession. They lead by 7. Poked away. The steal by Shorty. For the out.
Oh! The vertical game is in full effect. Look out below.
And the Raptors call time here. Quickly, let's check out the Eastern Conference standings, the season in full bloom. Taking a look at Toronto. They're 6th right now in the conference with lots of time to make a move. And of course the Bucks, 8.5 games behind them. And here is Jack, averaging 9 points per contest. Now Calderon. Here's Turkoglu.
Well, the bad shooting continues for them to start this half.
Now Mbamute. Shorty down low. Nice shot by Bogut.
The defense didn't challenge the shot, didn't get a hand in his face. And from such close range, that shot's a gimme.
Now Calderon. He's got 5. Here's Jack. Lays it in. Sweet time to lead him to the rack. And we're now all tied up at 35. Thomas, the jump hook, good. He's got 6.
Great assist on that basket. He's seeing the floor well, and he's making some beautiful passes.
To Turkoglu. Cannot hit. And the Bucks going the other way right now. To the paint. Here's Shorty, tipped, but they get it back. Redd drains it from short range.
No one really contested him at the basket that time, Kevin. He's just too good in there to leave the door open for him.
Toronto trailing, running out of time. And the Raptors call time here.
Gotta get this lead.
There'll be more coming your way next Wednesday. We'll see Tim Duncan and the San Antonio Spurs. They'll face the visiting Atlanta Hawks. Start time, 7:30 Eastern.
I think it'll be fun.
Here's Calderon, kept alive.
Things got jammed up near the rim, and that left a golden opportunity for the steal.
Shorty inside, graceful finish.
Beautiful pass there to find his man streaking up court.
And so here is Toronto.
done, or rather what they haven't done, is hold on to the ball. They've had 4 turnovers already this quarter.
Here's Bellinelli. 1:02 left in the third. To the wing. To Bargnani. Thomas is there. Bargnani was parked down low and got hit with the 3-second call. Clark, and this can't continue to be the story for them. You can't convert if you're handing over the ball.
Well, without question, Kevin, you're exactly right. They've had a tough time getting into their offensive flow here because they've turned it over too much.
Toronto on D. It's a 14-point game. Now Calderon. He has 5. From 11 feet away. Fired short, but gets the kind roll and goes in. So it's Milwaukee now. They've got to push it. Here's Shorty. Gently drops it in. Nice bucket by the rookie out of American International. A difficult situation for Toronto. Tipped. Here's Calderon. Shot is off. And it's Milwaukee the other way. Here comes Calderon. He's got 7 all alone. Finishes with the soft touch.
It's a great look ahead up court to set up the easy, fast break finish.
Now a timeout called by Milwaukee. Cheryl, what do you have?
Well, I had a moment to speak with the head coach of the Raptors. He wants them to get out on the break. He said, the second we get the ball, I want to see guys flying down the court. If you're tired, let me know. Otherwise, the pedal to the metal. Got it.
Thanks, Cheryl. And Toronto has possession. Down by 12. Bellinelli. Calderon leads the game in assists.
Great vision on display there. The pass led him perfectly to the basket. That's how you do it.
He needs to hustle. Shorty. Here's Red. It's in for 3. Now Calderon. 9 points in the game so far. Inside the box. Hits the jumper.
That's exactly the way you practice it. Hit the open man for the great look.
On offense here, the Bucks. They lead by 11. Outside. Here is Mbamute. Calderon pulls it in.
If the shot's not within your range, don't take it. That's very simple.
The Raptors can trim it to single digits. It's off his leg. And it's being called a kickball. Bosch with it. 11 points in the game. And here is Jack. It stays here. Here's Bellinelli. He has 5. From close range, cuts the score to single digits.
He's really flipped the script with his performance here in the second half.
Milwaukee in the lead. Thomas banks it home.
He can't be stopped. He's having a party out there.
Here comes Calderon. 9 points in the game so far. Shorty hits the reach-in call. That's his first foul. Now Turkoglu, right now averaging 17 points a game. The tray. Bogut corrals the miss inside. And here are the Bucks now. They've led by as many as 14 points. Here's Bogut, defended by Turkoglu. Shorty, he's guarded by Calderon. Here's Red, kept alive. Bounce pass. Bogut backs in from short range. Lays it right in.
Healthy lead, and with smart play the rest of the way, they should be able to win this one.
They're losing by 13. 1:06 left in the fourth.
Putting a little resty, y'all. Hungry to get a book.
Bosch with it. 13 points in the game. To Jack. Here's Calderon. Bogut has it, and that's his 9th rebound thus far. The Bucks should slow it down here and use some clock. Shorty nails it from close range.
Right on the verge of victory now. They don't need much more than to just take care of the basketball.
It's off his foot, and the ref's whistling a kick ball. The Bucks going with the new group. Here's Bellinelli. He's got 5. The Bucks walk away with a double-digit victory as they defeat the Raptors, 62-50. For his steady play, Shorty is the Jordan Brand player of the game. Well, that'll do it on behalf of Clark Kellogg, Cheryl Miller, and the rest of the 2K Sports crew. Kevin Harlan saying so long and see you next time.
Nice job out there. First off, you were very selective on your shots out there. That kind of patience impresses me. I've always stressed the importance of good shot selection. It's nice to see that you don't give away possessions with bad shots. Moving on, I'm going to give you some quick motivation for the next time you play with these guys. Your man dropped way too many points on you.